Hello everyone, this is Liv Casman straight from Kalkine Studio and you're watching my show Go Green with Kalkine. Today I'm going to highlight the environmental concerns raised on the back of the recent trade deal between the UK and Australia. We recently saw the UK and Australia announce broad terms of a bilateral trade agreement. The move is being considered the first milestone in the UK's aspirations to position itself as global Britain, and it's expected to be a gateway for it to join the Free Trade Agreement, the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership, or the CPTPP. Now, the CPTPP is the largest free trading group in the world, and Australia is a key member. The CPTPP includes 11 countries, having a total GDP of £9 trillion. The UK's trade volume with the group was £111 billion as of 2019, with a growth rate of 8% per year from 2016. The UK and Australian government's broad terms for the trade deal includes a 15-year cap on tariff-free imports aimed at protecting the interest of UK-based farmers from facing price undercutting, among other clauses. The move is also set to employ up to 3.5 million in the UK across the sectors which will export to Australia. However, environmental groups have raised significant concerns about this trade deal. The UK has announced ambitious goals of being net zero by 2050, legislating the decision and unveiling several policies ahead of the UN Climate Summit COP26 to be held in Glasgow later this year. While Australia similarly announced a net zero target of 2050, it hasn't legislated that commitment. Australia also has declined to sign a binding climate communique at the end of the G7 summit that was held recently. Farmers have now raised concerns over the trade deal, saying there are no meaningful safeguards that are put in place for them. A tariff-free deal would force UK farmers who uphold climate-related standards to compete with Australia's farming practices, which are less regulated on environmental grounds. In fact, Australia has been described as a laggard on global climate action by conservation groups like WWF. Those same climate action groups have called for the trade deal to set quotas for countries, including Australia, to adhere to. And they're not the only one. It's not just the farmers showing concerns. Scotland's food and drink sector has also raised its own worries over the trade deal, which it says sets a poor precedent that could undercut UK farming and businesses which follow higher standards for farming and climate change practices. Australian beef farmers produce more efficiently than their UK counterparts. A typical farmer has 10,000 head of cattle, but their carbon footprint is much higher than the UK, even without accounting for the carbon emissions, including that from transporting Australian products halfway across the globe. The Australian National Farmers Federation, for its part, has called for the setting up of a climate change and agricultural focused joint research and development facility, in addition to the trade deal, to address farming practices and the disparities between the two countries. Australia has promoted a technology not taxes style of policy to tackle its carbon emissions, but that's come under criticism from the Biden administration, with one senior official saying Australia can't depend on technology alone to achieve its climate goals by 2050. However, according to the industry body Meat and Livestock Australia, Australia's red meat and livestock industry has set a carbon neutral target of 2030 and have reported industry carbon emissions dropping by 60% since 2005. The British government also confirmed that hormone-fed beef would be banned in the UK even under a free trade agreement, and that any trade deal will include clauses calling for protections for the British agricultural industry. Well, that's it for now. I'll be back soon with more shows around clean energy, renewables and climate change. Thanks for watching.